Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. Happy Friday! Today, I'm going to talk to you about the first 6 months of Masterpiece Transformers third-party releases coming up. This is going to be a great year. There's a lot of stuff coming out. A really stacked first half of the year. Now, again, a lot of these dates are tentative. We're probably not going to get all of it in 6 months. It'll be kind of interesting in July to see what we did get, what we didn't do. And I'm going to do a back half of the year in July. But let's talk about this and get right into it. Starting out the year with January. First on the list, we have Fans Toys Smokey. Now, this thing's supposed to be out sometime this month. I'm expecting to see it. Now, here's the thing. Since the old Thomas, Fans Toys hasn't put anything else out, really, aside from that Phoenix, which is a clear Phoenix, which they enlisted help on that. So this is going to get Fans Toys back on track. When this one comes out, I expect to see pretty much monthly Fans Toys figures rolling out. Does look pretty good. It's going to be hefty, heavyweight. I just got in the DX9 version. I'll take a look at it. Going to be kind of curious to see which one's better, this one or the DX9. Next up, we have the KFC Ditka reissue. Here's the thing. I'm not going to put too many reissues on this list. I do have about 5 or 6 reissues on this list simply because I think they're important, and this guy is about $150 right now to reissue. I think they fixed all of the issues with the ankles and the knees and the hips and the posability and the stability. But I don't know for sure. That's kind of what I'm hearing. He does look pretty good. I have this figure. Mine's okay. It stands on the shelf and looks fine. But, you know, we got competition coming later this year. Looks good in the jet mode and in the tank mode. So it's a pretty good triple changer all around. Probably not going to be the best one ever made, but it'll probably be the best priced option. Seeing as how the next option up is going to be $220. Next up in January is a G Creation Wrath, and this appears to be a movie version of Grimlock, and so I don't really know if there's very many other movie versions of Grimlock in the pipeline other than this one. He does look a whole lot like the live action movie, and he does turn into a dinosaur, so he gets the job done and looks like he's supposed to. Getting into February, we're supposed to be getting Low Key. This is X-Transbot's version of Cup, and I think he does look pretty good. Now that he's painted properly, painted correctly, I think he looks so much better than the initial pictures that we saw. The initial pictures were easily picked apart, but now with the right paint on it, he does look pretty good. And then, of course, looking at his alt mode there, it's a pretty decent alt mode, and I'm hoping that the transformation isn't too bad. I hope it's not unbearable, and it would make that a pretty good option for your Cup. That's coming in February. So, next in February, we have a Fans Hobby Naval Commander. This guy here is big, beefy, and I think that's pretty much the Armada Prime, so it's an Armada Prime. We're getting a lot of different versions of Primes from different eras in here, and here he is in his alt mode, and it does look a lot like what I remember an Armada Prime to look like, and in that alt mode there, it's kind of like a one-of-a-kind kind of alt mode, but there he goes. Looking at February. Also in February, we're going to get Fans Hobby Power Baser, theoretically. Now, this thing looks more like an actual prototype ready to go in a Power Master Prime than that Naval Commander did. But it does look a lot like I'd expect, sort of a Masterpiece-esque type of a Power Master Optimus Prime. And I do like the fact you're going to get the Power Master figure in there. Here he is in his alt mode, and it looks a lot like you'd expect. It probably transforms exactly like you expect. It looks very straightforward, like a very straightforward figure. Next up, in February, Fans Toys is supposed to be putting out their extra universal stands. I don't know why they're blue. I'm wondering if you're going to get clear or other options other than just this blue. But again, we've talked about this for like 6 or 7 months now that it's coming, and it's supposed to happen in February. So a lot of people want extra stands. Heck, I thought they were included in most of them, and then they just stopped including them, so that was kind of strange. Here it is, if you want your Cyclonus to fly in alt mode or in bot mode. So next up in February, we're supposed to be getting Fans Toys Outrider. Now, I think there's some miscommunication on this one, because this is one of the ones that was pushed back and price increased on us, and so there's not actually any color photos yet. So I'm not going to hold my breath for February, but that's what it's still slated for right now. So we're just going to talk about it as February. It might be October. I don't know. So we'll see come February come and go if it's in there. But it still looks pretty good. It's still interesting. I know that the X-Transbots one is really good also. So I'm wondering if this will beat it, or if there'll be a tie, or if there's just something about this that just makes it that much better. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Also in February, Make Toys is supposed to be putting out their Jetstream, which that is their take on Thrust. And this is a nice looking version here. I do know I've got their first cone head. I think it was okay. I don't think it was stellar. I think it's okay. I really want to see Make Toys get back on track. And here's the thing. Takara is eventually going to get them out. But to get the thing for like 120 bucks versus 250, this is half the price what Takara's will be. And I think it looks every bit as good as what Takara would do when it comes to a Seeker or cone head. It would be great. Maybe it's a filler. Maybe it's all you ever need. But I'm looking forward to it myself. Next up, we're supposed to get Purple Potato. So it's come out in February. So this is Lemon Tree's take on an interesting version of Shockwave. We've been looking forward to it for a while, just kind of see what Lemon Tree can do. I have never handled a Lemon Tree product, so this will probably be my first Lemon Tree product to handle. I do want this to go alongside my Unicron from HasLab. I think it would look really good. I know it won't scale. This thing isn't actually going to be Masterpiece. It's going to be more like a slightly oversized Chug, but it does look really good. I can't wait to get my hands on it, see what it does, and I really don't have any of these type of ships. Alright, getting into March. Looking at March, we have something that really surprised me. It's either a reissue or somehow TF Source is getting their hands on some more. I don't know why I don't see the reissue at other places just yet. But I checked 5 different online retailers. Shozi, TF Source, Toy Dojo, Chosen Prime, one more. I checked 5 of them. And they're all sold out of MP44. That surprised me. I thought at the price, because they're charging $450, I figured the ones charging $450 or so would still have them in stock. They're all sold out. Can't believe it. So why are they doing a reissue? Well, because they're all sold out. That's amazing. This dude is sold out. I think it's a great figure. I like mine. I know there's KOs on the market now, but yet this thing is still selling out because it has such a premium paint job. Hopefully do some more sort of an overlay over the paint so it doesn't chip as easy. So next up in March, we're going to be getting the Giga Power Gutter. I think that one's due out. Every other one is on pre-order also. I just don't know dates when those will be out. So this is the only one that I've seen an actual tangible date for. And actually, it's the only Dinobot I do not have a Masterpiece representation. So I'm looking forward to it myself personally. I really think it'd be a great figure. I would great have it in my collection. There he is in his alt mode. And I think it's a nice looking alt mode. I think these Dinobots are very straightforward, relatively simple transformations, and I like the shiny versions, the chrome versions that Gigapower is putting out, and it turns out, with all of my research into this, I like the toy versions of Dinobots the most. I guess that's where I'm at in the Dinobot space. Next up in March, we're supposed to be seeing Spindrift 2.0. Now, this is Fans Toys rectifying a fail in their opinion and most people's opinions. I don't think the first one was horrible. I just don't think it was anywhere near the standard that Fans Toys has set for themselves. So they're trying to rectify that. I still don't know if this is going to be any better than the Neptune that X-Transbots put out. Here it is in its alt mode, and the alt mode is very clean. It does look nice. I do like how this does come with 2 guns. I did not like the gun that came with the first Spindrift. It always falls out of his hands, and I think I lost it. Next up in March, we're supposed to be seeing this Generation Toy trailer coming out. Now, this is for those of you who want maybe a trailer for your KO MP44, maybe a trailer for your Generation Toy Prime. But anyway, this is an option that's going to be out in March. Theoretically, it does kind of open up to this station. Now, it is completely redesigned of its own design. It does not copy or KO or knock off any other type of trailer that's out there. So that's why it's a little bit different, a little bit stylized, and that's how they can get away with making it. So next up in March, we do have KFC's Raju. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but anyway, this is their take. The one on the left there is a Power Master Optimus Prime, and so it looks pretty cool. These are interesting looking figures, interesting characters. I'm wondering which one of these Power Master Primes will be the best. I kind of got my money on KFC because they are clean, very G1, but at the end, I'm looking forward to hearing which one of these is actually better. And theoretically, in March, we're supposed to be getting the Make Toys booster, which is a ramjet. I think Make Toys has a lot planned to put out. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to put out to the level that they say they're going to put out, but anyhow, this figure here, like I said with the other ones, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Now, I'm actually not going to be out on this one, but an Acid Storm should be coming out in March also. It's funny how they all say March. I don't think they could put that many figures out that fast. I'd like them to, but it's not that I don't think they can. And then we're also supposed to see a reissue of their Starscream. Now, this is the other reissue. I only have like 5 or 6. So this guy right here, I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. They got to get it out before Takara gets theirs out. But again, half the price. It's going to cost half or a little bit less than, or maybe a little bit more than half of what Takara's going to be charging for theirs. And I already have it in hand. I know it's a pretty solid figure. Sliding into a little bit of April releases here. And now again, this is another grain of salt. You're going to have to take it with a grain of salt, but Fans Toys Berserk. It's their take on Blitzwing, and the thing about it is this is another one, just like Outrider, that was pushed back. And they pushed it back, they upped the price, they added the extra 50 or 70. Now this one I think they added 70 bucks on too. So it's more expensive at the 220 price point, but I have not seen color shots from them. I haven't seen an actual prototype yet. So I'm wondering, is there going to be some sort of a Fans Toys reveal, since there's not going to be a toy fair? Is a TFCon kind of a reveal in a third-party type of scenario? I don't know. They were at the last TFCon, so kind of interesting to see what news is coming out of Fans Toys there. But here is the jet mode, and it looks good. I gotta say, this is gonna look good in all 3 modes, and I think it's gonna be a little bit, if not far more stable than what we're getting with Ditka. And then here we are with the tank mode. I think it is pretty solid all around, all the modes. And I'm kind of hoping the transformation isn't too much of a bear, but man, triple changers that look this good, it's going to be a challenge. Also in April, we're supposed to be getting the MMC DZEF Continuum. And the thing about this is they're Desaurus, and you've got to have something to take on your Star Saber, right? So there he is. Now, I don't know if we're going to see the other companies putting out very many of these. I know X-Transbots is supposed to have one coming. We got another one that's on this list also. But I think this one looks good. I might have to get in on this. He's going to be about 10 inches tall. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be big enough, but he does look pretty good. Here he is in his dinosaur-ish kind of mode, and again, looks good. I do like MMC transformations the most, I think. Lately, I've kind of been looking at the MMC transformations versus some of the other ones, and I do kind of like their style and how they go. And this thing looks like it's pretty straightforward and simple also. Planet X is supposed to be coming out with their Cactus here in April, and this is, of course, a Grimlock, and he looks pretty cool. Is he from the video game, I think? I think that's kind of the route they're going, but yeah, there he is. Looks like Grimlock, and you could say a stylized take. They just went a different route. I don't think it looks bad at all. So next up in April, we're supposed to be seeing Tfc Leviathan, and they're working on this combiner, and this, we've already gotten a lot of color pictures. We've seen quite a bit about them, and it seems like it would come a lot sooner than April. It seems like they're much further along, and TFC's been in the game for a long time, so it doesn't seem like they have trouble putting figures out, but this thing's not going to be out till April. But I think he looks pretty good. He fits the character relatively well. Also in April, we're supposed to be seeing the Toy World Skyburst. Now this is going to be a movie version Jetfire-esque type of mold. I mean, they're using the Jetfire mold on this, but instead of turning into an airplane, he turns into a battleship. You sunk my battleship. There he is. It does look good. I mean, I have to say, whether you like the character or care about the Bayverse stuff, or the play on Bayverse stuff that's going on here, that is nice looking battleship. That is a really good way to make this transform into something different and cool. So looking at May, I have seen it somewhere that it should be DX9 reissuing their Motormaster, which would also have the trailer and also be able to build yourself a Minosaur. And I'm hearing the price is going to still be around the 150 mark. But again, I go and try to look at several places. Most places either don't have it up for pre-order or don't have a date on it yet. So that's one of those things that it probably won't hit May. I know DX9 is trying to put out a whole bunch of stuff at the end here, so we'll see. I know that this is going to be sorely wanted and needed by a lot of people that jump ship from X-Transbots. We're getting a reissue of Fans Hobby Double Evil, and he is a cool looking figure. I think that this was a good figure all along, and if you want to get yourself in on a Masterpiece Overlord, then this might be the figure for you. I know he's pretty pricey though. He's almost 300 bucks. Here he is in his airplane mode, and that looks pretty cool. I never handled this figure before, but I think it's pretty interesting, just kind of how it works and how it operates and all that. And there's a tank mode right there. Fans Hobby Double Evil. All right, moving into June. May's kind of a light month, but it is pretty far out, so a lot of stuff probably get pushed to May. But in June, we're supposed to be seeing MMC and their first 3 versions of their limbs and parts for the Fensor. Now, here's the thing about this. I don't think they're all going to come out in June. I think they just threw a tentative date out there. We'll get the first one in June, and I don't know which one it is. That's my theory on this. But anyway, starting with the Hot Shot, that was one of the first ones that's supposed to be out. And then we're also supposed to have their version of First Aid, this Medicus, and that one's supposed to be out in June. So I don't know which one will be out first. And hey, they may surprise us and all 3 come out. Heck, they may have the whole box set out. Who knows? And then we're supposed to have Blade, or their name is Ventus. So one of these 3 will probably be out in June or by June, if not all 3. Kind of interested in this. I'm probably going to be in on this unless someone else announces they're doing one. I know X-Transbots is theoretically doing one. I don't know. I'd like some more forward guidance from X-Transbots before I get in on another combiner set with them. So next up in June, we're supposed to have the Takara MP52 Starscream. Now this you could pretty much plan. It will be out in June because Takara hits their dates. Now sometimes they're a week or 2 late, but not 3 months to 7 years like some of the third parties. Anyway, that's the one good thing about Takara. You know they're going to be out on time. Of course, it has a super clean alt mode. Looks really good in both modes. I'm curious about the transformation myself, of course, and I actually look forward to this guy, even though I'm still a little secret out. Also out in June is a reissue of the Make Toys Guardia. I think it's around a $300 price point. $300 for a total combiner. Now it is shorter, it is smaller. It's in the old school scale of I think 15 inches or something around that line there. But you know, if you, oh wait, maybe it's only 12 inches. It is small. The thing about it though, if you want to get on a Defensor, this might be one. It won't scale with Zeta and the likes of those, so keep that in mind. Next up in June, we have the Trans Art Metal Panther Commander. It looks really good. I like the vac metalized parts that's on this. I like the shiny. Hey, I like shiny things. And I have to admit, my favorite part of Beast Wars is the Transmetals. And I think the true and blue Beast Wars fans probably like the original stuff the most. And for me, I like the Transmetal stuff the most. So I get more excited about this kind of stuff. And I kind of look forward to seeing this thing in June. Here he is in the bot mode. And I do think that the alt mode, the animal mode, looks a little bit better than the bot mode. But still not a bad bot mode. Still very reminiscent of the toy and the cartoon. We're also supposed to be getting the TFC Lucifer in here. TFC has been making these things. And this is going to be another one in their combiner Satan that they should be making an Abomus. So it is a bit stylized, looks pretty good. This will probably be the second one they put out this year for their combiner. And again, it is a combiner in a smaller scale. So past June, everything's just a big old question mark. There's a lot of figures that we're looking forward to that don't have release dates, that don't have a solid tangible date with them, so I didn't really put them on the list. Let me know what you're looking forward to the most. Did you like this list? Did you find it helpful? Is there anything that has a tangible date that I missed? Because I'd like to know. Like, subscribe, Hanger out.